That's a little loud. There we go. Hello and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History,
Historical calendar,
and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else we gather throughout the show, check the description. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
I am Luck.
And today is Thursday, also known as Thursday, March 7th, 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 451, Attila the Hun sacks the town of Metz and attacks other cities in Gaul.
Yeah, Gaul, which is basically France. The Gallic nations were basically France, like way back in the day. Moving on up to 529, the first draft of the Corpus Juris Civilis, which is a fundamental work in jurisprudence, was issued by Eastern Roman Emperor Justinian I. Interesting.
Nice. Also, 611, Maya king Uenchan of Chalcomon sacks rival city-state Talaquink in southern Mexico.
Interesting. Doing a pretty big time skip here. In 1141, Empress Matilda became the first female ruler of England, adopting the title Lady of the English. Cool.
Ooh. Also, in third. Oh yeah. Hey, funny thing. The 611 one. They said it was 1,141 years ago. Then I look at this one. I laugh.
Yeah. Sorry, I delete all that stuff, just to keep the format clean. But
I know, but I look at it and I laugh when I do the research.
Yeah.
With the simple things. Well, 1141, Empress Matilda. Oh yeah. Empress Matilda becomes the first female ruler of England, adopting the title Lady of the English.
Why don't you take 1348 as well?
Sure. Also in 1348, Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV charters Prague University.
Interesting.
I didn't know Prague. Okay.
In 1449, Felix V abdicated his claim to the papacy, ending the reign of the final antipope. Interesting. Huh. No more antipope. Which is actually a pretty fitting thing to do on this date that we will find out in the death section later on.
So, also 1970, 1920, 1521, Ferdinand Magellan arrived at Europe.
Just started throwing numbers at me, I didn't know what to do. 20 years later, in 1541, Francis Xavier left Lisbon on a mission to the Portuguese East Indies.
Yeah. Also, 1724, premiere performance of Johann Sebastian Bach's St. John Passion, BWV 45 at St. Nicholas Church, Legspin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. 1767, the end of the Burmese-Siamese War, which had been going on since 1765, so about 2 years.
Yeah. Also, you could do another one because that was short.
Okay. 1788, settlers established Marietta, Ohio, the first permanent settlement created by U.S. citizens in the recently organized Northwest Territory. Okay, so that's an old city.
Oh, yeah. Also, 1795, the French First Republic adopts the kilogram and gram as its primary units of mass.
Cool. See, it's little things like that that are interesting in history, It's like, when did we start using inches? When did they start using centimeters, Stuff like that. Anyway, 3 years later, in 1798, the Mississippi Territory was organized from disputed territory claimed by both the United States and the Spanish Empire. It was expanded in 1804 and then again in 1812. Cool.
Yeah. Also in 1805, Lewis and Clark's expedition, the core of discovery breaks cap among Mandan tribe and resumes its journey west along the Missouri River.
Cool. Also in 1805, German composer Ludwig van Beethoven premiered his Third Symphony at the Theater an der Wien in Vienna.
Also, 1831, Pedro II becomes Emperor of Brazil. Also, 1862, American Civil War. The Union Army of the Tennessee and the Army of the Ohio defeat the Confederate Army of Mississippi near Shiloh, Tennessee.
Cool. Moving on up another 6 years, in 1868, Thomas Dugarkey McGee, one of the Canadian Fathers of Confederation, was assassinated by a Fenian activist. Well, that's just rude.
Yes. In 1906, Mount Venezuela erupts and devastates Naples. Also, in 1906, the Algeciras Conference gives France and Spain control over Morocco.
Cool. Morocco is in northwestern, Africa, yeah. And, and as far as Mount Vesuvius, move! Like, get out of there. Like, it keeps blowing up and people keep dying. Like, it boggles my mind. It's the same thing as, like, the people in, it's not Saint Denis. Why can't I think of it?
New Orleans.
Yeah, that one. Like, you're in a bowl. Get out of there. Anyway.
That's the same thing with beachfront property.
Yeah.
They're right by the fucking water.
Yeah, they're going to be in the water here in a minute. Anyway, jumping it up into 1922, during the Teapot Dome scandal, the United States Secretary of the Interior, Albert B. Fall, leased federal petroleum reserves to private oil companies on excessively generous terms. Huh. Interesting.
Motherfucker. Okay, hold up.
That is a scandal.
There we go. What are we on now?
1926.
In 1926, violent Gibson attempts to assassinate Italian Prime Minister Benito Mussolini.
Oh man, that's too bad.
Mussolini had an assassination attempt.
Yeah. Why don't you take 27 as well here?
Also in 1927, AT&T transmits the first long-distance public television broadcast from Washington, D.C. to New York City, displaying the images of current Secretary Herbert Hoover.
Cool. 1927, wow.
Yes.
Long distance, Washington, D.C. to New York City. That's like this on the map, Like, that's intense. 1933, Nazi Germany issued the law for the restoration of the professional civil service, banning Jews and political dissidents from civil service posts. That sounds a lot like what's happening in the world today, except instead of Jews, it's conservatives and white people. And of course,
also in 1933, prohibition in the United States is repealed for beer of no more than 3.2 alcohol by weight, 8 months before the ratification of the 21st Amendment to the United States Constitution, now celebrated as National Beer Day in the United States.
Hey, today's Beer Day. Oh man, I gotta do something special to celebrate. I gotta go buy like a case of Corona or something.
I'm gonna say, too bad people be drinking that piss fucking beer.
I know, dude, like, I really want to be patriotic, but Miller and Budweiser are just garbage. Like, so...
You can't, because I think they're made by Anheuser. That's fucking German anyway.
Yeah, but they're so Americanized, it's just sad.
I'm gonna say, if you want an American beer, you're gonna have to go with Broken Skull IPA.
We're going to have to talk after the show because I need some ideas for some affordable yet effective alcoholic beverage to celebrate National Beer Day properly as American. So,
yeah.
Anyway, moving on up into 1939, Benito Mussolini declared an Italian protectorate over Albania and forced King Zog I into exile. Dang. Or Albania.
Well, yeah. Also, let's see. Oh yeah. In 1943, Ioannis Varalius becomes collaboration as Prime Minister of Greece during the Axis occupation. That's a mouthful.
What a turncoat. Also, 1943, during the Holocaust in Ukraine, in Terra, Bolivia, Germans ordered 1,100 Jews to undress and march through the city to the nearby village of Plebanivka, where they were shot and buried in ditches. A lot of these things have been turned out to be false. So just take this with a grain of salt.
Until you confirm it.
Yeah.
The National Football League made helmets mandatory.
Good.
Yeah, before then, people used to just go on field with those leather fucking caps they call those fucking helmets.
Yeah, the tanker caps.
Yeah, and they pretty much call those fucking helmets, no. A lot of people got hurt. A lot of people got fucking hurt.
Yeah, but keep in mind, this was also before, football got, super physical, the way it is today. I mean, now they have armor. Because, they're coming at each other freight trains and, wham! No wonder they're getting head injuries and such,
Yeah.
I just wonder how much longer it'll be before the NFL has to, do something about it, because it's becoming a serious problem with all the people retiring, suffering brain injuries and everything. It's no longer just a theory, it's becoming confirmed.
Fans are assholes. They get mad it's a tough sport. Well, then why don't you strap on some fucking pads and do it then? Let's see.
Yeah. This also explains Colin Kaepernick, Nothing going on up in here. Anyway.
Honestly, with him, I think his girlfriend was putting him up to it.
Well. Anyway, 2 years later, in 1945, during the Second World War, the Imperial Japanese Navy battleship Yamato, one of the 2 largest ever constructed, was sunk by United States Navy aircraft during Operation Ten-Go. And this is something a lot of people don't realize about the Yamato. Yes, it was the largest warship ever built, at least battleship-wise. I don't think aircraft carriers are that big. But it had a sister ship, which was the same thing. So, it didn't say the other one here, but yeah. What happened in 1946?
In 1946, the Soviet Union annexes East Prussia as the Kaliningrad Oblast of the Soviet Union of the Russian Soviet Federalist Socialist Republic.
That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Moving on up into 1948, the World Health Organization, who are these people? Was established by the United Nations. Oh, what a surprise! What a surprise! Oh my God! But how things are going right now, oh my God! That's hilarious.
Yes. Also, in 1954, United States President Dwight D. Eisenhower gives his domino theory speech during a news conference.
Domino theory. Let me look that up real quick. Eisenhower domino theory.
Domino theory is if you buy 2 medium or large pieces, you get your third one free.
That's the wrong kind of dominoes.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
I have to do that.
By the way, did I tell you that Domino's has blacklisted me?
Damn.
Yeah, it's because we didn't vote for Biden. They straight up told us that. They're like, oh, we saw that you're in your social credit score, you voted, you didn't vote for Biden, so we don't want to do business with you anymore. Goodbye. Like, okay. Anyway, President Dwight D. Eisenhower coins one of the most famous Cold War phrases when he suggests the fall of French Indochina to the communists could create a domino effect in Southeast Asia. The so-called domino theory dominated U.S. thinking about Vietnam for the next decade. So if you want to know more about this domino theory, if I can find the wiki, I don't want... Here we go. I don't trust the History Channel. So, let's see here. I'm going to add this to the underbar. While I'm doing that, why don't you take the next article here?
I will. In 1955, Winston Churchill resigns as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and indicates of failing health.
Aw. Well, no king rules forever.
He wasn't no king.
He was essentially, like the Trump of the UK back then. Like,
But he wasn't no king. He knows he wasn't no king.
well, it's a phrase. He wasn't a king,
I know.
Anyway, moving on up into 1956, Francois Spain agreed to surrender its protectorate in Morocco. We have Francisco Franco's, thing.
Also, in 1964, IBM announces the System 360. And also in 1965, representatives of the National Congress of the American Indians testified before members of the United States Senate in Washington, D.C. against the termination of the Colville tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, like, let's keep the natives around. Anyway, the IBM System 360 was a family of mainframe computer systems that was announced by IBM on April 7, 1964, and delivered between 1965 and 1978. It was the first family of computers designed to cover both commercial and scientific applications and to cover a complete range of applications from small to large. For further information, please refer to the underbar for the link to the Wikipedia. Anyway, in 1968, two-time Formula One British world champion Jim Clark died in an accident during a Formula 2 race in Hockenheim. That sucks.
That's horrible. Also, 1969, the Internet's symbolic birthday publication of RFC1.
Happy birthday, Internet.
Yeah, also in 1978, the development of the neutron bomb is canceled by President Jimmy Carter.
Well, I wonder, when did the U.S. start? When did the U.S. make a neutron bomb? Neutron bomb, nuclear weapons. The neutron bomb was conceived. Did the U.S. develop a neutron bomb? It's not telling me. It's just telling me it would be more lethal. Wait, neutron. Is it like nuclear, or is that something else?
I don't know.
Like, that sounds like some kind of science fiction type thing going on. The neutron release generated by a nuclear fission reaction is intentionally allowed to escape the weapon rather than being absorbed by its other components. The neutron burst, which is used as a primary destructive action of the warhead, is able to penetrate enemy armor and more effectively than a conventional warhead, thus making it more lethal as a tactical weapon. I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm going to add this to the underbar, of course. This sounds like a bomb that that's designed to leak more radiation rather than be destructive. It's more of a slow burn type of thing. So.
Yeah, sound like it.
Anyway, in 1971, during the Vietnam War, President Richard Nixon announced his decision to quicken the pace of Vietnamization. Let's look that up real quick. It was a policy of the Richard Nixon administration to end the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War through a program to expand, equip, and train South Vietnamese forces and assign to them an ever-increasing combat role, at the same time steadily reducing the number of U.S. combat troops. Alright, so that's a good thing. Yeah, this is another bar too.
Ow, okay. Ow. Also, 1972, Vietnam War communist forces overrun the South Vietnamese town of Loc Ninh.
Why don't you take the next one here?
Also, in 1976, members of Parliament and suspected spy John Stonehouse resigns from the Labour Party after being arrested for faking his own death.
Dang.
God damn.
365 days later, in 1977, German federal prosecutor Siegfried Buback and his driver were shot by two Red Army faction members while waiting at a red light. That's just rude, man. They're waiting at a red light. Yo, do you have a fan or something in your room, man? I keep hearing a lot of blowing.
Yeah. But I'm not by it.
I keep hearing like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh in my ear.
You mean like this?
Yep.
Oh, that's me.
So you're the fan.
I'm your biggest fan. No,
Yay.
okay. Also, in 1980, during the Iranian hostage crisis, the United States severs relationships with Iran.
Ah, well, good. Should have stayed that way. 2 years later, 1982, Iranian Foreign Affairs Minister Sadegh Ghotbzadeh was arrested.
Okay.
Moving on up into 1983, during STS-6, astronauts Story Musgrave and Don Peterson performed the first space shuttle spacewalk. Cool.
Also, in 1988, Soviet Defense Minister Dmitry Yezhov orders the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's right. There was a whole conflict down there.
Yes, they were. And because of that, the Mujahideen became the Taliban.
Oh, shit.
Also, in 1989, Soviet Marine coastal Smolensk sinks in the Barents Sea off the coast of Norway, killing 42 sailors.
Oh, that sucks. Submarining is scary, dude. You know? Your little tin can, you know, like under the water, all this pressure, weaponry.
In a pressurized can in the water.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Of why it's scary.
I have bucket loads of respect for submariners, I tell you what.
Submariners?
Yeah, submariners. Anyway,
yeah.
In 1990, John Poindexter was convicted for his role in the Iran-Contra affair. In 1991, the convictions are reversed on appeal.
Okay. Also, in 1990, a fire breaks out on the passenger ferry Scandinavian Star, killing 159 people. So yeah, the 90s were a great year.
Yeah, well, like, they just gotta stop overloading these ferries, you know, in these third world countries, you know? That's what...
No, the fire breaks out.
Well, yeah.
Now, something else could have started that.
Yeah, well, no, maybe, like, you know, they overloaded it, and there's too many people, there would have been less fatalities, you know? Like, fire, flooding, sinking, getting hit by a rocket, you know, whatever. Like, stop overloading your transport craft, you know?
Okay.
Anyway, speaking of the 90s being horrible, in 1994, the Rwandan genocide, massacres of Tutsis began in Kigali, Rwanda, and soldiers killed the civilian Prime Minister Agathie Uwilingiyimana. What the hell is with that last name?
I know. Also in 1994, Auburn Calloway attempts to destroy Federal Express Flight 705 in order to allow his family to benefit from his life insurance policy.
Wow.
That is fucking crazy.
Wow.
But I see what's going on. You want?
1 year later.
He was probably ill.
Bobby Hill?
He was probably ill and wanted to take his own life, you know, and give his insurance to his family. Who knows?
Yeah, don't falsify things, people. Just, yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, in 1995, during the First Chechen War, Russian paramilitary troops began a massacre of civilians in Samashki, Chechnya.
But the 90s were a great year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were
Not for the Chechen, not for Rwanda, not for people in Scandinavian Star.
Not for anybody in second or third world nations for the most part. So.
Yeah. Also in 2001, NASA launches the 2001 Mars Odyssey orbiter. And in 2003, Iraqi war, U.S. troops capture Baghdad. Saddam Hussein's Ba'athist regime falls 2 days later.
Nice. Yeah, I've recently been watching clips of this show called Generation Kill. And it's about, like, you know, people during, you know, this war and everything. It's interesting. Jumping it up into 2009, mass protests began across Moldova under the belief that results from the parliamentary election are fraudulent. Those words are too similar.
Also, in 2009, former Peruvian President Alberto Mori is sentenced to 25 years in prison for ordering killings and kidnappings by security forces. Holy
Good.
shit. These motherfuckers call this man a mob boss.
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez. 2011, the Israel Defense Forces used their Iron Dome missile system to successfully intercept a BM-21 Grad launch from Gaza, marking the first short-range missile intercept ever. So, why do they keep calling him the Defense Forces?
I don't know. Also in 2017, a man deliberately drives a hijacked truck into a crowd of people in Stockholm, Sweden, killing 5 people and injuring 15 others. Oh yeah, I remember all of that shit.
Yeah, see, hey look, gun control works. Hurdy, 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 hurdy. You know, no. People want to kill each other, they'll kill each other. Also in 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the 2017 Shaykhate missile strike against Syria in retaliation for the Khan Shaykhun chemical attack. Huh.
Yeah. Also in 2018, former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is arrested for corruption by termination of Judge Sergio Moro from the Car Wars operation. Lula stayed in prison for 580 days after being released by the Brazilian Supreme Court. So he spent like a year and a lot of months in jail or prison.
Yeah, so 365 minus 580. Well, I'm not even going to do the math. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. 580 minus 365 equals 215. Divide that by what? 30? So 7 months, more or less.
Yeah, 1 year and 7 months in prison.
Yeah.
Which is still bad because it's a foreign prison. It's a Brazilian prison.
Yeah. Moving on up into 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, China ends its lockdown in Wuhan, only for it to happen again. How many times have they locked down Wuhan since then? Like 5? You know?
The last count.
Yeah, same here. And why do you take this last article here?
Also, finishing off the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, the Acting Secretary of Navy Thomas Modi resigns from his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic on USS Theodore Roosevelt and then dismissals of Brett Kozer.
Huh. Before we get into births and deaths, any articles intrigue you today?
Yeah, the 90s.
Yeah.
I thought I'm bring that shit up again.
Yeah. That's,
also, the Soviet submarine Komsomolets sinking.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh yeah, and the assassination attempt on Benito Mussolini.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to see if there's anything from the earlier portion of the show, but I'm not finding anything. Well, anyway, I'll think of something, and I'll name the show after it. Why don't you start off with Actually, I'm going to start off births today. I'm going to let you start off with deaths because it's kind of a good start off with deaths today. Well, not a good one, but interesting. Births.
You trying to make me senior death?
What?
You trying to make me become senior death?
Senor Death.
Senior Mortis. No, Senior Mortis.
Senor Mortis. Yes, we got to think of a sick-sounding Spanish name involving the Grim Reaper. So.
Senor Mortis, yeah.
All right. Anyway, 1206, Otto the Ill, or Otto the Second, I don't know, Wittelsbach, Duke of Bavaria.
Oh. In 1506, Francis Xavier, Spanish missionary, saint who co-founded the Society of Jesus.
We live in a society.
Oh, Christ.
Yep. 1648, John Sheffield, first Duke of Buckingham and Normanby. I think that's a spelling error on the source's behalf. English poet and politician who is a Lord President of the Council.
Also, in 1770, William Wordsworth, English poet.
I wonder what his words are worth.
He's a poet, so
yeah.
Who knows? Also, I want this one too. Also, William, sorry, 1860, William Keith Kellogg, American businessman who co-founded the Kellogg Company. I love your cereal, man.
Too bad it has Monsanto GMOs. 1876, Vay Multoon was born on this date. He was an American sprinter, football player, coach, and lawyer.
Also, 1884, Clement Smuts, American golfer.
We skipped over one here in 1882, Mr. Bert Ironmonger, an Australian cricketer.
Okay. Also, 1809, Ola Christensen, Danish businessman who co-founded the Lego Group.
Yeah. 1903, Miru Gishu Balasundaram, a Sri Lankan lawyer and politician.
1915, Stanley Adams, U.S. actor and screenwriter.
He looks familiar. He kind of looked like, this one picture here, he looks like the guy from Mary Poppins, but that's not right. Like the...
Oh, that's Big Bang Night.
Oh, High School Big Shoot. Or Big Shot. Okay. Anyway, 1929, Joe Gallo, a U.S. gangster.
1937, Yves Rocher, French businessman who founded the Yves Rocher Company.
It's supposed to be Yves. That was a misspelling on my part.
Okay.
1938, Jerry Brown, a U.S. lawyer and politician who was the 34th and 39th governor of California, and I asked my dad if that name meant anything to him, and he said he was a poor governor, so yeah, I put him in there.
1939, Gary Kellergan, U.S. record producer and founder of Record Plant.
Nice. 1940, Marju Lauristin, an Estonian academic and politician who was the first Estonian Minister of Social Affairs.
1944, Cheryl Baccarat, U.S. insurance broker, investor, businessman, and philanthropist.
Also in 1944, Bill Stoneman was born on this date, was a U.S. baseball player and manager. And that reminds me of that American dad, like, oh, you were a stone man. You mean a stoner? Yeah, what did I say?
Also 1954, Jackie Chan, Hong Kong martial artist, actress, stuntman, director, producer, screenwriter, genocide advocate, and supporter of the Chinese Communist Party in all their actions.
Yeah, he came out not too long ago straight up saying that he supports the CCP, he's friends with Xi Jinping, he's all for, you know, what they're doing to the Uyghurs and everything. Like, he said some pretty disgusting shit, and I couldn't believe it. Like, you know, Jackie Chan is a piece of shit, I'm sorry. But, you know, all these actors, all these beloved people, we lost South Park to this shit, you know, like... Anyway, 1964, Russell Crowe, New Zealand-Australian actor. Oh my god, it's Russell Crowe! Fighting around the world.
Yes, born in New Zealand in 64, an actor named Russell Crowe, like to act in like 20 things more, fighting around the world.
Fighting around the world. With his good friend Tuggy.
Yeah, you dropped the ball on that one. You could have said that, you could be dead.
Yeah.
Also, 1968, Jennifer Lynch, U.S. actress, director, producer, and screenwriter.
1976, Martin Bubb, a German high jumper. I don't know what that character is supposed to sound like, but I just call him Bub.
This shit. In depth. In 30, Jesus Christ, possible date of crucifixion, the Son.
Yup. That's crazy, huh? You know?
Yeah.
1201, that's one hell of a time jump there. Baha al-Din Karwakush, Regent Egypt and builder of the Cairo Citadel. I gotta look that up real quick. Oh, wow. That's cool.
Well, in 1606, Edward O'Crone, English martyr.
Ah. 1661, Sir William Barrington, first baronet, English commander and politician.
Okay. Also, well, did you do the 1661?
Yes.
Oh, okay. 1719, John Baptiste de La Salle, French priest and saint who founded the Institute of the Brothers of the Christian Schools.
Yeah. 20 years later, 1739, Dick Turpin, what a name, was died on this date. It was an English criminal.
1811, Galvan Galvez Chedais, Georgian diplomat and politician.
Bless you. 1849, Pedro Ignacio de Castro Barros, Argentinian priest and politician.
I thought it was Ignacio.
Ignacio? Maybe, yeah.
Also, 1879, Bergam Hazrat Mahal. I was about to say Hazrat Metrion Central. Also, okay, yeah. Begum of Adarat, the second wife of Narab. Wali al-Saral. Taj Mahal.
This was built for Mumtaz Mahal, so this is not the same person. So it's not the Taj Mahal person. Anyway, 1885, we have Carl Theodor Ernst von Seibold, a German physiologist and zoologist.
Also, 1918, P.T. Barnum, American businessman and politician who co-founded the Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah. 1947, Henry Ford, U.S. engineer and businessman who founded the Ford Motor Company.
And anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Also, in 1968, Edwin Bass Baker, Canadian co-founder of the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, CNIB.
1972, we have Joe Gallo again, U.S. gangster. He died on his birthday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Also, 1972, Albin Karumi, Tanzanian politician who was the first president of Zanzibar.
Yeah, from Tanzania to Zanzibar. This guy doesn't get enough Z's in his life. Moving on up to the next millennium in 2003, David Green, English-U.S. actor, director, producer, and screenwriter.
Damn. Also, 2009, Dave Arneson, U.S. game designer who co-created Dungeons and Dragons.
Rest in peace. You will be missed.
In that case, is Gary Gygax still alive?
Who?
Gary Gygax.
Gary Gygax. I think he's dead. Yeah, March 4th, 2008.
Okay, because I know he was a co-founder of it too.
Yeah.
Or co-creator.
Anyway, 2012, Mike Wallace, a U.S. television news journalist.
2013, Marty Blake, U.S. Congressman connection.
Maybe to 2013, Les Blank, a U.S. director and producer. Like, I'm wondering,
Okay.
like they both died on the same day, same year. Marty Blank, Les Blank. Well, I'm not finding anything here. Marty Blank.
Also, 2014, George Shuffler, U.S. guitarist.
Huh. I wonder if he shuffled across the stage, Anyway, I didn't find anything for the Blake, but if anybody's interested, they can go figure that out themselves. That concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in, which also include
Sodium TV on Twitch.
And everything Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day between 12 and 3 p.m. Pacific Time.
2 to 5 Central.
I am Xander.
I am Luck.
And for all of you and all of us, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe until you see us tomorrow. Toodles!